Okay, so I got up this morning and I took a pregnancy test and it had like some weird dot things on it, like some indents. And so I trashed it because I couldn't tell like what was going on with it. Also bags, I'm not sure what's going on here. Obviously I don't wake up a beauty queen, but that's okay. But let me see. So today my period's supposed to come, and I've been taking pregnancy tests since I was like 5 days past ovulation because we celebrated our anniversary, and it just so happened that the next day I got a positive ovulation test, so that was interesting. And so I've been in a bit of a panic like the last 2 weeks thinking, oh no, maybe I'm pregnant or whatever. So this morning I have dipped an ovulation test stick just for fun, just to see what appears on it. Because I've heard that I've read that ovulation test sticks can pick up pregnancy hormone, but pregnancy tests don't pick up ovulation hormone because they're very close. It's just like the pregnancy hormone has one little thing on it, but it can be picked up by an ovulation test. So I've taken one of those because I've also taken 2 pregnancy tests. Well, I've taken 3, but the first one was invalid. And then I took another one and it had like what I would call a very, very, very faint line. And I've been taking these pregnancy tests all month, all the last 2 weeks, and they had stark white, nothing there, nothing. And then yesterday, when the test dried, I put a flashlight to it. I know you're not supposed to do that, but I did. And I thought I could see like a shadow of a line. Well, here I am this morning and I'm supposed to have my period today. And I'm feeling like this is the first set of symptoms that I've had at all. I'm feeling like my back hurts, but I've been painting cabinets. And when you guys see this, it's probably gonna be after I announce that I'm pregnant. And that's probably gonna be in a long time. It's gonna be a while. But so anyways, this is all going down around the time that I'm painting cabinets. Happy New Year's, all that jazz. I guess New Year's Eve was conception. So anyways, the only thing I've felt is yesterday I just felt exhausted, like I got hit by a bus. I was so freaking tired. I'm still nursing the baby, the toddler. So I haven't had like any sore boobs or nipples or anything like that until middle of the night last night when she was nursing, and I just felt a little bit tender, but nothing major. And I would have thought by now that if I was pregnant that it would have popped up on a test, surely by now. Anyways, so let me look at these tests and see what we have going on here. Oh, well, my ovulation test is definitely positive and it hasn't even finished. The dye hasn't even finished. Oh my God. I'm gonna have to go into town and get more pregnancy tests. Oh my God. I didn't think I was gonna. I had an emotion about this. Well, wasn't planned, and I told my husband yesterday, I was like, every month I get a little bit, like, I'm always panicked. I'm like, oh my God, what if I'm pregnant, what if I'm pregnant? And then when I'm not pregnant, I always feel like a little bit of disappointment, but I guess unless my period comes in the next day or 2. Just a minute, sweetie. It's looking like there's lines on these tests, so let me just show you. You're probably not going to be able to see them. You can definitely see the ovulation test is positive. Hi, everybody's coming in now. This is mom life. I've got 4 kids. I've got to take. Don't go fishing in the toilet, please. Get out. So yeah, I'll show you what I got. Okay, so you probably cannot see this, You can definitely see the ovulation test. For some reason, it's running really funny. Maybe this test kit is jacked up, but I never get any kind of line on these. Excuse me, privacy, please. But there's definitely, let's see if I can get it to focus. There's definitely lines on both of those pregnancy tests, so yeah. Looks like September 22nd is going to be the due date. And if any of you are wondering, I'm going to do another one of these ovulation tests just to show you. Well, folks, there you have it. It's the real deal. I had Aaron run to the store on his way home from work and grab a first response, whatever they are, pink dye test, because I felt like this morning I just needed a little bit more confirmation from a different test brand. I was like, well, maybe this is a fluke, who knows? But yeah, baby number 5. Baby number 5. Let's see, I am 14 days past ovulation, I think. I will correct myself, written on the screen if I am wrong, but I'm pretty sure I was supposed to start my period yesterday or today. Might be 15 days ovulation, past ovulation, I don't know. But yep, there we go, little pink line. Maybe it would have showed up sooner. Maybe it would have showed up sooner, but I didn't get lines on the test I had here at home until today. And then this one is definitely there. I had to come into the only quiet room in the house, the bathroom, because I am always with my family. My kids are always around, at least 2 of them. Annika's knocking on the door. But yeah, this video is all about my 2-week wait and what my symptoms were when I started to have lines show up on pregnancy tests, ovulation tests, all that kind of jazz. But yeah, I'm gonna have to look back and see exactly when my symptoms started. Basically, I didn't really have any symptoms besides really vivid dreams starting 1 week into my 2-week wait, so about 5 to 7 days. So 5 to 7 days into my 2-week wait, which is about 14 days, my luteal phase, I started to have... You're gonna play in here with me? Okay. I started to have super vivid dreams, which is weird because I like never have dreams anymore. I never get into deep enough sleep to go into dreamland. I just don't have dreams, but I was having nightmares, dreams, everything, every single night. And then the only other symptom I had was about 9 days past ovulation. I had some really bad cramping on my lower left side, and the cramps felt like light contractions almost, but it was only on one side. And I was telling my husband, I was like, this is either something implanting in my uterus or I'm having another ovarian cyst burst. It was intense, it was really painful, and it was mostly that evening. Other than that, about 10 or 11 days, 10 or 11 days past ovulation, I was having some really bad backache, but I attributed that, yeah, those daddy's clothes. Days 10 and 11, I had really bad backache, but I thought it was just because I was working on cabinets. Yeah, put them back. I thought it was because I was working on painting all the cabinets in the kitchen, and that is kind of tedious work. So I thought, oh, I must just be having a backache from that. I was taking, yeah, I told you can do this with me. Okay, so I was taking pregnancy tests from about 5 days post-ovulation onward using internet cheapies and Walmart cheap tests, and I'll write those down below in this video It'll just appear on the bottom of the screen. And I was getting like weird evap lines, but I just chalked it up to those types of tests. And the fact that maybe they were just showing evaporation lines. So I didn't think anything of it because you normally don't start producing HCG until the baby or the embryo or the blastocyst starts to implant in the uterine lining. And so I didn't actually show a real line of any sort until 14 days past ovulation when my period was due. And that was the only time that a line popped up. I did do some clear blue easy tests, and those popped up with some lines once they were dry. And I just attributed those to evap lines. I was like, there's no way these are real lines. These aren't positive tests. They're past their time limit. But yeah, 14 days past ovulation, I took a luteinizing hormone test. An ovulation test is what those are. And I also took a pregnancy test, and the ovulation test came up very positive, and the pregnancy test had a very faint pink line, very faint, but visible to the naked eye. I didn't have to hold up a flashlight. I didn't have to hold it up to the light. I didn't have to do anything crazy. There was a line. So I sent Aaron to the store after work. I just called him on the phone and I said, hey, there's faint lines on these. So I didn't get his reaction, but we had been suspecting it, that I might have fallen pregnant. The reason being because our anniversary is December 30th, and we were both too tired to like hang out or celebrate our anniversary. So we ended up going to bed that night, but the next night was December 31st. That was New Year's, and we celebrated that night. So yeah, and then the very next day I took an ovulation test, and that came back positive. And so the very next day would have been my most fertile day, according to ovulation and charting and everything like that. So all of those days were leading up to that were days to avoid. The 5 days before and like the 3 days after, or 4 days after ovulation, are days that you want to abstain if you want to avoid pregnancy. However, we did not abstain, and we normally do. The one time that we did not, and it was only once this past month, only once that we were together, and sure enough, I conceived. So that's where we are today. Today I feel really great. Oh, one other pregnancy symptom I had at 12 days past ovulation was I felt like I was hit by a bus. I felt so tired, but I thought it was just because me and the kids had all caught a little like cold, cough, congested type yucky bug. None of us had fevers or anything like that, but we were congested and coughing and not sleeping so well. So I just thought, I knew it was unusual to be that exhausted. I literally sat down to nurse the baby and basically dozed off while I was putting her down for a nap. And that doesn't happen because I have 10,000 things to do and I just don't take naps. When I'm pregnant, I take naps, and it's not really voluntary, it's like necessary. So that happened too. I'm going to write all these thoughts down, and then I'm going to re-edit this video. I'm going to re-upload it because I am super distracted right now by the baby. She's very cute. And you can see why we're not disappointed to be having another one. Say hello. Okay, good morning. Last night was 16 days past ovulation, and I started to get a little bit of bleeding. And then this morning when I woke up, I was just spotting brown. Now, at 9 days past ovulation was when I had what I thought was implantation cramping. Basically, it felt like mild labor contractions is what I can describe them as. They didn't feel like period cramps. They did feel like left-sided mild labor contractions before you reach the peak in a contraction. It was like the beginning and the end of a contraction. The only other time I ever felt pain like that, I was having an ovarian cyst rupture. All my tests here at home have been positive, and they're not really getting very much darker. I did take some when I got home yesterday, and they were a little bit darker than my 15 days past ovulation tests. So I'm just now taking another pregnancy test, and they don't seem to be getting much darker, but I'll show you the ones I took yesterday. This morning I just have brown spotting. I think I'm having a chemical pregnancy, possibly. I'm not really sure. I'm not having really many symptoms. Even like breast tenderness, I'm not having that. So I'm thinking that this is a chemical because I'm not quite 5 weeks yet. Today I'm 4 weeks, 4 days. So I think I'm like 4 or 5 days late for my period. I'll show you the tests that I've taken. But yeah, I feel like my body, I don't have any cramps or anything like that, but I definitely feel like my body might be releasing the baby. Now, why I think this is because since January 1st, I have been taking a lot of vitamin C. My family was sick, and so I was kind of mega dosing vitamin C. That can make the uterus inhabitable for implanting embryos. So I think it's very possible that I have made it inhabitable, and that the baby or the embryo or blastocyst or whatever just is not going to stick. And my feelings about that are just, what a roller coaster. I mean, didn't really expect or want a 5th baby, and then to find out that I was pregnant was a shock. But not so much because I kind of knew it was possible we conceived, but then again, like the depth of it setting in that, oh my gosh, we're gonna have a 5th baby. And then now to see these tests get lighter, and to start bleeding, it's just like, I don't know if I feel relief, I don't know if I feel sadness, I don't really feel anything. I'm kind of just like, well, I wish something would happen so that I had some concrete anything, like, am I pregnant, am I not pregnant, like, what is going on, just give me a period or something, like, I don't even know. So that's what's going on right now. I'll show you the tests. Okay, so these are what I took yesterday. The top one is what I've taken today, and as you can see, it's not really getting, I mean, and I literally took this right before I started filming, so it's not even 5 minutes into that test. There's still a line there, but these are yesterday's. I took one in the morning before my appointment. I took one after my appointment. And let's see here. There's that one. So as you can see, these definitely have lines. When I'm not pregnant, these are absolutely stark white. There's absolutely no line there. Then yesterday morning, I took this one and this one. There's barely a line there. So these were a couple days before. I had vitamin P on this one. So this was 15 days past ovulation. This was actually 14 days past ovulation. I had a fairly dark line at 14 days. It looks like it gets lighter, but that's also just the vitamins I've been taking. And then this is 16 days past ovulation. I had vitamins in my urine that day too, but this is first morning urine, but it's definitely a lot lighter. So I feel like maybe I'm having a chemical where it's basically a miscarriage before 5 weeks. So they call it a chemical pregnancy, but it is a miscarriage. So yeah, this is the first time anything like this has ever happened to me. You can just barely see a hint of a line, barely. But you guys, I reckon there's not gonna be a baby row number 5. Okay, I'm 18 days past ovulation. I'm still in my 4 weeks. I think I'm like 4 weeks, 4 or 5 days, I'm not sure. I'd have to look at my app, which I haven't done yet because I just got up and I'm bleeding and my stomach is cramping really bad and my back hurts really bad, and I thought I just overdid it yesterday, but I went to the bathroom and I'm bleeding. But before I noticed there was blood, I was able to pee a little bit in a cup, and I'm still getting positive lines. They are still very faint, and I've suspected this whole time that I'm having a chemical pregnancy, and I still believe that to be the case, especially with the cramps and the blood now. So I hope that's not too graphic for everybody. I haven't really been having pregnancy symptoms, and I'm sure that I've gone through a few of them, and all of this is going to be probably put into one video because it's been short-lived. If I don't miscarry, then I don't miscarry, and you won't, you know, you'll still see this at some point, and then I'll be like, oh, I'm pregnant, but this is what I was going through in the beginning, because this is what I'm going through in the beginning. It's a roller coaster. I had blood on Friday night I had a bit of blood, nothing Saturday, nothing Sunday, and then today is Monday, and I just had a lot of blood. So I'm not sure if I just overdid it yesterday or if I'm miscarrying. So it is what it is. I don't really feel either way about it right now. I just feel uncertain, so I'm hoping to hear from my doctor's office today. I'll probably go in today and have another blood draw to see if my levels are rising or if they've fallen off the charts. If my levels even registered pregnant the other day when I had blood done, I'm not sure if they have. Don't mind my puffy eyes. I ate that P.F. Chang's soup that was in my grocery haul, and the more and more I eat processed foods. So we had Chinese food one day last week, and I woke up and I had like black bags, puffiness under my eyes, and then I ate the P.F. Chang's soup. And I ate all 3 servings myself. I was really hungry after painting cabinets, so I have like super puffy, swollen eyes, and that is what processed foods do to my body. I just get super inflamed if I don't eat homemade food. And this test, I'm going to show you guys, it's looking a lot darker than my other tests, but yeah, the way I feel right now, the amount of pain that I'm in, I think I'm having a miscarriage, so it's what it is. This is my accumulation of tests. It's 14 days, 15 days, it's a little bit lighter, but I had like super dark vitamin P, and it looks like there's dust all over this stuff. This was 17 days post-ovulation. Gosh, I think I'm like 19 days now. I'm gonna have to go back and look. I'll write it in this video somewhere. Then I took these cheapo dollar store tests, and this was 15 or 16 days, absolutely negative. This was 17 days. You can see a faint line. This is today. It's still processing, and once it dries like the other lines, I'm sure it'll be darker than the other 2. And then we'll move over here to 15, 16. These are all smeared, but I just wanted to keep track of what was happening because I thought I was having a miscarriage or a chemical pregnancy. And then this is today's. It's still processing, but it already looks a lot darker than yesterday's. And then once it processes the whole way through and there's white and everything there, then I'm sure it will be darker than the others. However, I feel like I'm having a miscarriage, or maybe I just overdid it yesterday and aggravated my uterus. But my lines still aren't really dark, so I'm still thinking that this baby, for whatever reason, isn't sticking. My progesterone's probably low. I haven't been taking my progesterone like I should. I've just been so busy. This was this morning. That pregnancy test on the bottom was this morning. Yeah, basically my pregnancy test didn't get much darker. These were this past week's. Definitely pregnant. But today I started bleeding pretty heavily and nothing.
looks like I lost the pregnancy. So basically just a chemical pregnancy. It happened before 5 weeks. So wasn't a planned pregnancy, but we were still excited, but that excitement has dwindled. And just the fact that our test never got darker. I had a confirmed test at the doctor's office, and sorry, I got black lint everywhere from my sweatshirt, but so basically I had been getting faint test lines since 14 days past ovulation. I thought that was really unusual for me. I usually get Annika, no. The toddler behind me, she's 17 months old now. Probably best that we don't have a baby right now. Nonetheless, we were starting to get excited about the unplanned pregnancy. She was unplanned, but she's the biggest blessing in our lives, as well as all of our children are. So as you can imagine, when you find out that you're pregnant, the excitement kind of builds, and then to find out you're not pregnant, and then to go through all the hormones of a chemical pregnancy, it's not the easiest thing. It's not the hardest thing. I kept my mind busy with painting the kitchen cabinets. So that was something that kept my mind off of it. But I still took tests every day, every morning anyways, and every evening. This morning I had a positive that was slightly darker than yesterday, just slightly. And then tonight I had, well, this morning I started bleeding also, pretty heavy, with pretty heavy cramps around 8 o'clock in the morning. And then tonight I basically have what is a negative test. So I know that I've had a chemical pregnancy, and I know that my thyroid issues probably have a huge part to play in this. So, with all that said, we are not trying to have a 5th baby. But we always welcome children into our family with open arms, and yeah, this one just wasn't meant to be, and that's okay. We're gonna move on, and I don't plan on having a 5th child at this point. I'm still kind of saddened by the whole ordeal. And the roller coaster of emotions that it brought along with it. It was definitely a roller coaster, but now I can just focus on what I had planned before I found out I was pregnant, and I can continue with those plans now, and I can just keep moving forward. And I wish I had more deep thoughts about all of this, but I've just been so busy with the family and with the kitchen reno, and with everything, just trying to keep everything together, that basically my thought processes have been, what will be will be. It is what it is. This is how it is. We would have handled it either way, and now I've just got to get my cycles back on track. My cycles had been every 2 weeks for a few months prior to this, and here you go. Look, check those out. My cycle over the summer and through beginning of the fall, or basically just the summer, I was bleeding every 2 weeks. I wasn't ovulating. My body was just kind of in a frenzy, and then I started to get on track. I was starting to regulate. Then I had the thyroid issue pop up, and then once my thyroid was cleared that it wasn't a cancerous tumor, we conceived basically that very next cycle. It wasn't planned. It was our anniversary. It was New Year's Eve. It just wasn't planned.
And obviously it wasn't meant to be. It's still one of those things that like you go through the emotions of like, oh my God, we're having a kid. Oh my God, we're not having a kid. Oh my God, should we have more kids? Oh no, we shouldn't have more kids. And then there's all these things that happen. And my heart has always desired more children, but I know that's not what's best for our family right now. So I still have a 4-year-old, I still have a 17-month-old, and right now I think we just need to focus on our family, we need to focus on our home renovations, our home remodels, the things that we're trying to do around here, and just see where that takes us. And if in the future another baby comes along, we'll embrace it, we'll be grateful, we'll be thankful, and we'll also be cautious because we know that new life isn't always promised, and if new life comes, it's a blessing. So for those of you who are going through something similar, you're having a chemical pregnancy, you're having a miscarriage, an early miscarriage, don't give up hope. If you're a multi-par mom, and you've had many children and you have a miscarriage, definitely start tracking your cycles, try to figure out what's going on hormonally. Yeah, so I don't know what else to say here. I thought I would blog about it and just kind of offer something to the interwebs so that when other mothers or potential mothers are going through what I've gone through, that they can go back and reflect. I did spend about 30 minutes crying my eyes out to my husband, and he was very comforting and sweet, and he's been so great helping with that. As you can see, I'm still in all my painting garb. He's been very sweet helping with all the kids while I paint and keep my mind off of what's going on. I've known for about 4 days that this was probably a chemical pregnancy just because my lines were not darkening very much at all. And I just knew in my heart that I was gonna miscarry. It's weird how like your intuition, but then there was like moments where, okay, so Friday I started bleeding, but Saturday and Sunday I had 0 blood, nothing. And then today, last night, late at night, I started cramping, and then this morning I woke up and I was bleeding and I had terrible cramps, and I've been clotting and bleeding all day, and terrible cramps and everything all day, and I've been taking ibuprofen because I can't paint. I would have laid in bed all day if I didn't take ibuprofen, but I gave my cramp bark, my after pain remedy away to a friend, and I didn't have that with me, so I've been taking ibuprofen, and that's enabled me to be able to work through all of this, and I was able to stay out in the garage and cry as I needed to and just deal and cope alone without notifying the kids or upsetting them or having them involved in the whole process. If I had been inside and trying to choke back tears, surely one of them would have noticed at some point, but it's just better that they don't know right now about what mommy's going through, and that daddy's just been taking care of them, and I've been painting, and that's just been good and therapeutic for all of us. Hagen did ask why Aaron was joking about baby names the other day, and I'm feeling weakness in my arm, so it's hard to hold the camera up. I just keep looking down at the test, thinking, wondering, hoping. If there's a line there and there's not a line there, I'll show you again. But while I've been talking, it's just I knew it wasn't happening. So it is what it is. I'm just gonna move on from here, and I'm gonna be blessed and thankful for my good health and for my children and their good health. And we're gonna move on. There's no baby row number 5. Some of you might be excited that there's not. Some of you might be bummed that there's not. I know there's some people who would think we were crazy for having a 5th. I know there's some people who would have been excited we were having a 5th. And I don't really give a damn what anybody thinks. It's my body. It's our choice.
and we would have welcomed a 5th baby. Surprise or no surprise. So it is what it is, and it's a hard thing to go through. It's been a hard 3 to 4 weeks not knowing what's going on with my body, and knowing that I was pregnant and having the hormones, having the symptoms, having all the things that come along with early pregnancy, and then all the thoughts. I already ordered prenatals. I ordered some supplements to help with morning sickness, because I typically get very sick in first trimester. So I went ahead and ordered the supplements early. I set up my Amazon baby registry so I could get the baby box, so I could do a review for you guys. I'm still gonna do that review for you guys because the baby box is on its way. I ordered some summer maternity clothes on sale the day I found out I was pregnant, because I was like, surely I'm not gonna miscarry. I've never miscarried. I've never had an issue, but I knew with my thyroid it was a possibility. However, I wanted to take advantage of the sale of cute things. I had gotten rid of all my maternity clothes about 3 months ago, so this definitely wasn't in the plan. And yeah, so I'm sure lots of women go through this. This is my experience. Say what you will, have your opinions, I don't care. This is me, this is real, this is what's happening. The baby's on the floor, she's throwing safety pins, bobby pins, whatever they are, all over the floor. I don't even care at this point. Because life, she's happy, and life, happiness is the most important thing. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this vlog. I hope I didn't take up too much of your time discussing my chemical pregnancy, my miscarriage, my early miscarriage, whatever you want to call it. At one point there was a life growing inside of me, and that life has ended now. So I'll just show you the 11-minute result on this test just to verify the show. I am 18 days post-ovulation, and I'll show you my 14 days post-ovulation test, and that it showed a faint positive. It never got darker, and this was my chemical pregnancy. Thanks for watching. Peace. And boom, just like that, no longer pregnant. Enough